All right, sorry about that, everybody. Just want to make sure that we're recording it okay. And 10 more seconds to launch. And we are good. All right, Annette, without further ado, take it away.
Okay. Hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name's Annette Arsenault, obviously, and I am in the Tampa, Florida area. I was introduced to this actually by Josh, and I am a functional medicine by occupation. So when I saw this, I was pretty excited about it. My statement was, if it does half of what it says it does, I think this is going to be amazing. So I did not really think about a lot of the things that it would do for me. And what it really did for me right away that was super noticeable was I had a car accident about 4 years prior to finding out about this. So I had burning muscle pain in the middle of my back from ligament damage. I also had a different accident where I had lost some toes and had to have an operation. Woke up from that with vertigo, with a ticking in my right ear, as well as the nerve damage, like a seriously bad cramp in your leg, pulling my foot up to my leg and stuff with rerouting of nerves and whatnot from that loss of toes. So all of that very serious, painful at different times, never knew when it was going to happen kind of a situation, all of that with having happened for the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years prior. So about 6 days in, the burning muscle pain, discomfort, all that in the middle of my back that made me very fidgety. Long car rides were no longer any fun. I like to travel, so that was really not fun for me for quite some time. So about 6 days in, that burning muscle pain stopped. Haven't had that since. Long car rides, all that kind of stuff, totally doable. I don't have those issues anymore, which thank God. And then probably about 4 or 5 months in, I realized that I wasn't having the vertigo, which I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's terrible. And also the nerve pain started to slow down. But I have now not had any of that in well over a year, as well as multiple things of sleeping better, which I thought I was doing great to begin with. Thought I was doing all kinds of, I thought I was probably feeling as good as I could feel given all the things that I do. But I can tell you and testify that even with being super healthy and doing all the things that I was doing, I have felt every bit of what we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. So the question is have you been patched yet? So what we're going to talk about is a technology that will elevate, activate, and regenerate your stem cells. So let's go on and talk about David Schmidt. He's the CEO and inventor of the X39. He now has over 200 patents, which basically puts him in the one of the top scientific minds in our history, actually, by just that sheer number of patents. He is a scientist and inventor, obviously, specializing in age reversing. This technology came about in 2008 when his attention turned to stem cell research. The company itself, the technology itself started in like 2004. The Navy SEALs, the Navy hired him to come up with something for the Navy SEALs to have energy during their mini sub program, so that they could keep energy without artificial stimulants. So he came up with the energy patch, and that was the birth basically of this type of phototherapy technology. But like I said, in 2008, his attention turned to stem cells, which was a big deal then. All the research started to come out, finding out all the benefits that can happen. Of course, very expensive. Most people can't really afford it. And also a little bit sketchy as far as where are we getting the stem cells from. So, but 10 years later, $4.5 million, bringing this to market in about 2020. So that is the beginning of the X39 and what it's done. So we'll talk about what's next, is the patent. We will give you a website here in a little bit that you can, if you want to do a deeper dive and take a look and read through this entire patent. Patents aren't always easy to come by. You have to prove that the product does what it says it does. So clinical trials, all of the different things that it took to get this patent. But the basic thing that we really point out in this patent is that it says as an embodiment as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants. And I like to go right back into the small print. It says reduction in inflammation, which is really the cause of all pain and sickness, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, which I absolutely love. Talk about that again in a little bit, and improved wound healing. So multiple things that can happen when you give your body this kind of activity, which is really incredible technology if you really understand what is happening here. So let's talk about why X39 stem cell activation patch. Why this patch? Well, the fewer stem cells that you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. So none of us are escaping the aging process. Not going to happen. We're all doing it. So hundreds of millions of people obviously are experiencing the symptoms of aging. I know I was, but I did not know at 30, about half of your stem cells have already gone inactive. I know with what I do, other things diminish. You know, I knew about collagen production actually stops in your early 20s, not stops, but starts to diminish in smaller percentages every year, and quite a few other things. But by age 60, almost all of your stem cells are inactive. So obviously the reason why we don't heal, you know, we get older and our bodies are trying to keep up with everything. So it takes us a lot longer to heal, or sometimes we never get back to what is normal again, because our bodies just can't keep up. We don't have what we need to completely heal. Next slide. So how does X39 work? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. And I like to talk about phototherapy because one of the best things on the planet, well, not on the planet, is the sun. We need the sun, and that is our best example of phototherapy. The sun hits our skin. We know we get vitamin D from that, right? Well, it's not an instant thing. It doesn't hit the skin and create vitamin D. It is a frequency of light that hits our skin, communicates with the brain. It elevates a cholesterol in our blood, which actually starts the transaction to make vitamin D. So these patented nanocrystals technology that's in the patch basically reflects our own light and heat. The frequency in the patch reflects that light back into our body, communicates with our brain, and tells our body to elevate a GHK copper peptide in our blood, which starts the transaction of elevating and reactivating our own stem cells. So whenever you can give your own body back its own activity and not giving it something from someplace else or artificially, is always going to be your best bet. So it is non-transdermal. It's not actually putting anything in your body. It's just creating that transaction, just like the sun hitting our skin to make vitamin D. So no drugs, no chemicals or stimulants, which I found really great because obviously I work with people that are on medications and different things. And that's always the first thing that people ask when they're starting something new. Is it going to interfere with my meds? No, it's not. Hopefully, if nothing else, I've seen many people get off of medications. So and it's non-invasive, obviously. You're just putting a sticker on your skin. So it doesn't get any easier than that. So benefits of X39. These are all of the basic things. I think probably anybody that's on here would raise their hand that they probably have 2, 3, 4, if not all of these benefits if they've been wearing it for at least 6 months or more. So increased strength. I know I've seen that. Reduced inflammation. We're going to talk about that in several ways in a minute. Increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity. I love that one. We'll talk about that again in a minute. Restored muscle or skeletal conditions. That is one that I've definitely experienced at my age and with what I had going on. Improved sleep. There's not enough emphasis on how important that actually is because our bodies don't regenerate. We can't really be as healthy as we need to be if we're not sleeping well. So just that improvement alone is a big deal. Improved skin appearance. Again, that's going to probably lend to the collagen restoration and activation too, which is why our body's going to get stronger because you can literally, our bodies are strung together with collagen. Cornea is 90% plus collagen. So when you get that extra activity, all kinds of things other than hair, skin, and nails are going to get better. But just to reiterate and to let everybody know, LifeWave does not make these products aren't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. We're just talking about giving our bodies the tools it needs to heal itself. So here's one of those studies that they did. It's a topography map of a woman's brain. They did a whole video study on this. So if anybody wants to see this, they can look it up. This woman at 77 years old, the very first session, you can see the red and everything in there. That was her brain was hyperactive. That was inflammation. And they put the patch on the back of her neck. And in 3 weeks, session 2, you can see that all of the red is gone. And then another 3 weeks, so 6 weeks total, you can see that it's completely balanced. Everything's all calmed down. And I can say too, when you have inflammation in your brain like that, you're not likely you don't just have it in your brain. It's likely everywhere. It's pretty systemic throughout your whole body. So, but when you have brain inflammation, there's so many things, as we know, that brain swelling or brain inflammation has to do with, like Alzheimer's and dementia, of course, MS, Parkinson's, autism, all these things. So when you can bring that inflammation down, people can gain better function, and there's different things that can happen. So that's pretty significant in an overall test that we can visibly see. And I think that the test that they did on that is fabulous. So let's talk about long-term results. These case studies, within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. I don't know if you guys know how significant that is, but that's about 1/3 of our gene pool. So whenever you can reset genes, which I'll give you a little tidbit, when we get overtoxic, we flip our genes over into sickness. Like, we don't have to get sick, and many things that we've been told are hereditary is really more environmental. So when we get overly toxic, those genes flip over into sickness. So when you can reset a gene, it's kind of like shutting that switch off. And I think that's kind of a lot of what can happen sometimes when that situation happens. So very cool idea. So 1/3 of our genes, that's pretty significant. In 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. We just talked about that study. So if you want to look more at that, we're going to give you a website here in a minute that you can take a look at all that stuff if you like. And then within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Again, that collagen is super important. We're strung together with it. Your bodies get strong. I know as you age, we stop doing things because we feel weaker. We feel like we might fall. We don't bend over as far. We start putting things up higher just because we don't feel stronger. And a lot of that is because our collagen production has waned and we just don't feel as strong as we used to. So I've definitely felt over the last 1.5 years how much stronger my body feels. And it's not like I was having big trouble as it was, but significantly noticeable even at my age. So I'm super happy about that. And then 6 months, your heart reverses in age. And as most of us probably know, heart disease and heart issues, heart attacks, that's an issue. It's one of the biggest killers in the country. So everybody's concerned about their heart health. So the average person's heart health reversed by 8 years in 6 months. That's super significant. A lot of people take a long time. There's a lot of things you can do for heart health, of course, but it's going to take a good amount of discipline and years to get that done. So to be able to do something like that on average for a big group of people in 6 months, that's incredible. So it's not so much anti-aging, which is kind of holding you off where you're at, but reverse aging and taking us back to how things were and how levels were when we were younger. So absolutely amazing. So how do we wear it? We wear 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So you peel the thing off the back, you stick it on you, and peel it off in 12 hours, and then throw the patch away, and then put a new one on the next day. You can wear more than one. The picture there shows on the back of the neck or below the navel by a couple of inches. That was just where they did the clinical trials. Whenever you do clinical trials, they have to be a constant. So that's where they did them. That's why it's in the literature, but you can wear it anywhere. David Schmidt, the inventor, has said, just put it wherever it will work. So I tell people that all the time too, because sometimes it's not convenient to stick it on the back of your neck. And even for those, I've had a couple of clients actually that they have kids with autism, and they stick them in the back of their shirt because they like to peel them off. So sometimes you can even do that if you have to, but better to stick it on you. And then last but not least, drink plenty of water. And that's not just water. It's just like anything. When it comes to doing healthy things, the more healthy things that you do, the better off this is going to work. So you don't want to be doing things like eating sugar smacks and drinking soda all the time and then, you know, think that this is going to work the best. I mean, it will, but all the good things that we can do are just going to help it work all the more. And drinking plenty of water and be hydrated is super important. Get extra minerals, sea salt, Celtic salt, Baja salt. You just want to get extra minerals, electrolytes in, because your body is going to be able to always function better no matter what healthy thing you're doing if you're hydrated. And this is no different. So here are a couple of examples of what happened, some testimonials. So this gentleman, we saw him in January in Vegas at one of the events, and you can tell at the beginning, talking about inflammation, you can see it under his eyes. Whenever you see really big bags like that, that's a lot of inflammation in the body, very good indicator. But you can see the difference in his face there in February, just not even a year later. So I feel like everybody kind of ends up getting that glow, all of the collagen and just the brightness that comes into everybody after a while. You can kind of see that. And this lady was wise enough to take pictures of herself throughout the year. I kind of wish I had done the same thing, but you can see day 1, day 42, day 355, and then you can see her now. She looks like a very much younger version of herself. And I feel like you can really see the collagen production because even her face looks fuller. You know, she looks younger, but her face structure even looks like it's changed a little bit. I think that's pretty cool. And here we have Marty. He is in the team there in St. Louis. Marty is now 85, but he took a fall and was out from the group there for a couple of weeks. And when he got back, he had taken this fall, showed the picture there. And that is Marty 2 weeks later. You can barely see the scar, which is really incredible for somebody at that age. Again, like when you don't have collagen production and stem cell activity, we know that those things don't heal that quickly. So that's pretty extraordinary. And they say that you can't really even see the scar pretty much at all anymore. So that's awesome. This gentleman working in the rafters fell through the ceiling, broke 6 ribs, punctured his lung, extreme pain. That's probably putting it lightly, given the look of that bruise. So his expected recovery was 6 weeks, and he was back to work in 3 weeks. So whenever you can heal, that has to show. He obviously was already on the product. So that is one of the benefits that I really like when you think about it. Some people say, well, I don't really have anything going on big, significant now. I don't know if I really need it. Like we all have this aging process happening, and there's always the potential for something to happen to you. So if you've got that extra activity going on in your body, this is what's going to happen if something does happen to you. You're going to have way more ability for your body to compensate and heal quickly, and you recover and be back to life as usual when you've got this product going on in your body, when you've got this transaction going on in your body. So this is our Dr. Amy. She took pictures prior to that. I think that was a month after she started. And then just this January, you can see same thing, the inflammation in her face with all the things that she was going through with the thyroid issue that she had in recovery. So pretty significant. Again, same, look at the facial structure, you know, just changing how things look with collagen, and then the lack of inflammation and whatnot's pretty amazing. She looks beautiful. So X39, so sophisticated yet simple to explain. Obviously the testimonies are life-changing and emotional. There's so many others that have really changed people's lives in even bigger ways. But the best thing about it is that it absolutely works. Given the testimonies and what's gone on in the company, which is going to be covered here in a little bit, you'll see why. But this is the website I was talking about. This is itinfo.com. You can go there and everything I talked about is in there. I always recommend watch the first 3 videos. They're super short, like I think about 8 minutes, and you'll be through all 3 of them. Look at the testimonies tab that will give you an idea of all the things that can happen when you give your body this type of activity going on. It's extraordinary. I feel like if everybody actually knew this technology and how amazing it is, there wouldn't be a person not using it. So go there and look. But this is what the page looks like. So click on any of those tabs. There's 1 to 5 or 6 different testimonies on there. But like I said, it just gives you an idea of what can happen when you give your body this type of activity. So LifeWave itself, this is Steve and Gina Merritt there in the black and white and the black shirt. They are our leaders on This Is It team. And then David Schmidt and Meredith Burkich, who are leaders in the company. They got the Bravo Award for the growth. And we've got this 2 years in a row, which doesn't really happen for a company that's 20 years old. So that in itself is extraordinary, but it is because of the X39. So what is the most important thing in your life? Family, time, security, travel, better health, less debt. I would say all of those things. And I feel like with what I do, I've definitely encountered this a lot. People do care a lot about their health, but one of the first things people will tell me is, I can't afford to be healthy. I can't afford to eat healthy. Well, we've got both things. We've got a way to be, this is the biggest health hack on the planet right now, I feel like. And we've also got the answer to whether you just want to share it with a few people to get your patches covered, which is totally doable. And I love that idea. And that, or you're looking for more significant income, we've got you covered.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Annette. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to cover just a high level on the if you'd like to share this or even kind of grow an income on this. So first of all, LifeWave, you can see the growth. I can't wait till we see what this slide looks like next year, right? So 4 years ago, we were a $20 million company, 20-year-old company, right? In 4 years, we launched this technology that Annette was talking about, and we get over $600 million in 4 years. You can be as skeptical as you want as the day is long, but the point is numbers don't lie. Right. So numbers are telling you that this thing works, and that's why people are using it. That's why more people are interested in using it. And that's why they continue to use it on auto ship, because this thing works. So that's what we're excited about telling you about today. So first of all, the power of X39, there's 3 options to get involved. If you're somebody who says, hey, it sounds interesting, I like what Annette's talking about, I want to give it a try. How much does it cost to try this out? A trial is $295. That is 3 months worth of patches. So that's what you need in order to really see the maximum benefit of these. So you want to get onto that as core. You get 3 sleeves. A sleeve has 30 patches in it. So that'll get you for 3 months, and then you get on auto ship. Advanced is for that person that says, hey, my husband and I, or my wife and I both want to do this. And so then you get on that. You both have 6 sleeves total, $535. You get a little discount. But also, if you're somebody who says, hey, I would like to share this with some people, as you're listening to Annette, a name start popping in your head of people that you want to share this with that could use it, come in advance, because then you can maximize the compensation plan on advance. And then premium is for that that entrepreneur that says, hey, I have so many people in my world that I need to share this with. We don't give these away at all, ever, right? If somebody signs up, when my neighbor signed up, I went over there and loaned them one of these things, right? And then when they came back in, she gave me my sleeve back. So I have those, so I have the ability to do that all the time. So you come in however you want to, then you get on auto ship, so your points don't flush. Compensation plan is changing here in the next 30 or 45 days or so, but it's overall the concept is pretty simple, very similar. But my goodness, is this about to get crazy good? It was great. Now it is insane. It's going to be insane. So on the team commission, basically you're building a left team and a right team. That's not changing. All we're doing, guys, is when you bring people into the business, whether they just want to try it out, whether they want to use it, whether they want to build a little bit of a team, or whether they want to build an empire, you just put them on your left side or put them on your right side and just continue to do that. As you do that, that builds volume based on points of them coming in, or their auto ship, or people underneath you putting them in. Everything, and just continues to grow. And every week, the company pays you a percentage commission based on that growth, right? Every single week. So that can get pretty exciting. Right now, it's set up that you can earn up to $25,000 per week on the binary. Matching bonus is set up right now where you're being paid 3 levels deep. So anybody that you personally bring in, if they are making money with the organization, whether it's $50 or $50,000 or $5,000, then, or 10,000, whatever it is, you earn a percentage check match of what they earned, right? The great news is, as they bring people on and they bring people on, you can earn multiple check matches of your entire organization. So that gets pretty exciting. Won't go into the details. That's changing a little bit, but my goodness, is that for the good. So again, what that's encouraging you to do is not say, hey, I put in 4 people and now let's see my money grow. I've put in 122 personally. that has turned into 3,764 people. So you want to just continue to share this with people, because you never know who's really going to see this and have a heart and passion for other people. So as you can see, coming soon is the new structure. I won't go through all of the different enhancements, but we have a lot of great enhancements that will keep you up at night once you get a hold of these and understand it. Annette shared our website for the technology. This is it, info.com. They have another website called thisisitteam.com, and that shows you everything on how to build the business. So if you don't want to explain to everybody how the technology works, send them to the website. If you don't want to dig in to understand how a business works, go to this website, right? Because it's all built for us. So how ingenious is that? This is literally a turnkey situation if you want to do the business side. Anybody that's done a franchise, you put multiple tens of thousands of dollars in there, and then you read everything you can on how to be profitable. That's not what this is. This is a turnkey situation where you can just follow the people that have done it right, and then we just emulate them. We also have our own website as our team has grown pretty nicely over the past couple years, called webelieveteam.com. Once you get involved, go to that website. It's going to give you step-by-step things on what you need to do to just really help other people and help yourself in a big way. And then anybody that you bring in, whether they say they just want to use the product and don't want to share it with the soul, or they want to build an empire, take everybody through webelieveteam.com. It's 10 minutes to get through it. It's a very simple website, but it's been a really good impact on a lot of people. Guys, we do a lot of Zooms every week. I'll update this a little bit because it says 7:30. It's now 8 o'clock. So every Sunday we do a Zoom at 8 p.m. This exact thing you're on, and then I'll update this to show that we also do one kind of a team Zoom at 7:30 now. Monday and Wednesday, our This Is It team do their Zooms. Thursday is an in-person if you're here in St. Louis at 6:30 Central, and then we have a training on Saturday. Lastly, there are Facebook groups that you can join on the This Is It teams to really just keep you connected. You can see a lot of good things on recognition. A lot of people use that site to say, hey, my friend is saying they have an issue with, you name it. You can type that into that Facebook group, and then they can see all these different people around the world talking about, well, this is how it's benefited me. So I use that site just about every day to show people things. And then the YouTube channel they have at This Is It Team is awesome too, because any of these videos that they put out that I don't get a chance to see initially, you can watch them there. So time is now to make your move, guys. Don't do all the research that you want on this for sure, and the people that you share with them, let them do it. But do the research as soon as you hit the go button, where this stuff is getting packed to get shipped to your house, right? While you're waiting for it, research till your heart's content. The big research happens when that sticker hits the back of your neck. That's when the research happens, because that doesn't matter what you read. You can even read every single case study on that site. Once you feel it, that's your testimony, not what you read, but what you feel. So are you serious about your dream? This is hope for your future. Get started with X39. So just get back with whoever invited you to this, or if you're rewatching this Zoom, they sent it to you. Just make sure you get back with them. Just choose a package: Core, Advanced, Premium. We don't try to sell anybody on any sleeves by any stretch of the imagination. We just try to do what's right for you. You can always come in one and upgrade, but we just want to help you out. And so that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining our Zoom. We wanted to try to keep it to 30 minutes for you. Have an awesome Sunday. We are here to help you, whether it's the technology side, the business side, or both, guys. We didn't grow to 3,700 plus people because of 1 or 2 or 10 or 12 of us, guys. We are a family. We are a team. We are here to help you on your financial dreams and on your health journey as well. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Annette, for your part, and we'll talk to you later.